Bandwagon effect and Lovelyz. Gidle took the top spot in the first preliminary contest of Mnet's survival program Queendom. Unfortunately, Lovelyz ranked 6th out of the 6 teams. The second preliminary contest that started again. The 6 teams were desperate to create a more perfect stage based on the success or failure of the first preliminary competition. And the 6 teams draw enthusiastic responses from the audience evaluation team with their best performance on this stage. However, we saw the inevitable moment of ranking announcement. Prior to the announcement of the final score, the results of the participating teams' self-evaluation were first announced. In addition, the 4th episode of Queendom will be aired before the announcement of the final result, which combines the voting results of the special evaluation team and the audience evaluation. There are 2 points in directing in the results of self-evaluation aired on the same day. First, Gidle, who finished first in the first competition, finished 6th in the second self-evaluation. The fall of the first place has plenty of room to be directed as an unexpected event for interest. Second, it is the self-evaluation ranking of Lovelyz. Lovelyz ranked 5th in the second preliminary competition's self-evaluation, just above the Gidle's ranking. This self-evaluation ranking of Lovelyz provided a kind of editing point where the directors had no choice but to cut off the broadcast of Queendom Episode 4. Queendom has a 6 system in which a team gets off immediately if it ranks 6th in 2 consecutive preliminary competitions. The system has already been announced to all participating teams by the host prior to the first preliminary competition. There is only one team in the second preliminary competition that is on the verge of being sacrificed by the 6-6 system. It is Lovelyz, who finished 6th in the first preliminary contest. The 5th place in the self-evaluation is a very unstable ranking because Lovelyz has to get off immediately if it ranks 6th. For Lovelyz fans watching the broadcast, it is a heartbreaking situation. Even if you are not a Lovelyz fan, viewers can have anxiety, tension, and curiosity about wouldn't you be eliminated? Editing, which stops broadcasting here and postpones the announcement of the results until next week, is a very standard directing. However, this direction causes unintended victims. Currently, malicious comments toward the 6th sense stage of Lovelyz are too much. The most famous book by French philosopher Gustave Le Bon, 1941–1931, is definitely Psychologie des Fouls, 1895. In the book, Gustave Le Bon argued that when an individual enters a crowd, he loses his subjectivity and does not feel moral responsibility. In addition, it was considered that if someone gives suggestion with appropriate stimulation, it could make the crowd an impulsive and emotional out-of-control group. The editing point of Queendom Episode 4, aimed at amplifying tension, became a kind of implication, although it may not have been intended by the production team. There is always a tendency to find a reason for the outcome, and many of them feel stable only when their thoughts agreed with what happened. A kind of psychological conclusion is made for them as Lovelyz, who finished 6th in the first preliminary competition, ranked 5th in the middle of the second preliminary competition's self-evaluation. To compensate this conclusion, some viewers follow up to find out why the stage of Lovelyz is a mess. To reassure that their evaluation was not caused by directing reasons for the broadcast, but by subjective thoughts. And most of the follow-up work was not fair enough. People just post malicious comments. It is unclear whether Lovelyz's 6th sense was as noticeably short of other team performances as their opinions. As revealed in the 5th episode of Queendom, Lovelyz ranked 4th in the final and received a considerable number of audience votes. During the self-evaluation, some of the other team members selected Lovelyz's 6th sense as the best stage in the second preliminary competition. It's a number that can't be ignored. Even if the stage of Lovelyz was really divided and gave a bad impression to people of a certain taste, the current rate of malicious comments is excessive. This should be viewed as a psychological phenomenon. Perhaps the production team's production to amplify tension became a kind of suggestion, and those stimulated by this jumped into active action for psychological consistency between attitudes and actions, and the crowd stimulated by it is disrupting the comment window, losing morality and responsibility? It's a word for crowd psychology bandwagon effect. Would the same situation have happened if all the rankings were released from episode 4 to the final? I don't think so. This marks the end of my video. If you have any questions for the video, feel free to ask on me. Thank you for watching.